Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I am so happy you are here with me today. So, take a breath, get comfortable, and let your mind travel somewhere far away. Because today, we are not going to talk about records or trophies or titles. Today, we are going to talk about a small boy with a big smile. A boy who danced more than he walked. A boy whose feet moved like music before he even understood what football truly was. This is the story of Neymar da Silva Santos Jr., the boy the world simply calls Neymar. If you enjoy learning English through real stories about real people, make sure you follow storyline icons. Every story is a new lesson, and every lesson helps you grow. Now, let us begin. Our story starts in a small city called Mogi das Cruzes, near São Paulo in Brazil. Brazil is a country where football is not just a sport. It is a heartbeat. It is in the streets, in the beaches, in the songs people sing, and in this country, on the 5th of February, 1992, a baby boy was born. His family named him Neymar da Silva Santos Jr., after his father, Neymar Santos. His father had also been a footballer. Though not a famous one, life was hard for the family. They did not have much money. For a while, they even lived in a small room inside a gas station, where Neymar's father worked. But what the family lacked in money, they made up for in love, laughter, and football. From the moment little Neymar could stand, he had a ball at his feet. He played futsal, a fast indoor version of football, in tiny courts in his neighborhood. Futsal taught him something most players never learn so early: tight control, quick thinking, and tricks, because on a small futsal court, you cannot run away from problems. You must dribble through them. His father saw something special in him almost immediately. He became Neymar's coach, his guide, and later his manager. He pushed his son gently but firmly, always reminding him to stay humble, to respect the game, and to never forget where he came from. By the time Neymar was 11 years old, he joined the youth academy of Santos FC, one of the most famous clubs in Brazil. This was the very club where the legendary Pelé once played. People said the academy had magic in its walls. And Neymar, with his quick feet and fearless tricks, fit right in. He grew up playing street football in Santos too. The kind of football with no rules, just creativity. He learned to flick the ball over defenders, to dance past players twice his size, to make the impossible look easy. Coaches noticed him constantly smiling, constantly enjoying the game, as if football was not work to him. It was pure joy. At 17 years old, Neymar made his debut for Santos's first team. And almost immediately, Brazil knew they had discovered something rare. His rise was incredibly fast. He scored goals. he created magic. He won the hearts of Brazilian fans who saw in him a player who could entertain just as much as he could win. People began comparing him to the greatest Brazilian players in history. Some said he could be the next Pelé. Others said the next Ronaldinho, the playful magician of Brazilian football. In 2011, Neymar helped Santos win the Copa Libertadores, the biggest club competition in South America. He was named South American Footballer of the Year. He was only 19 years old, and already the whole continent was watching him. But Europe was calling. In 2013, Neymar made the move every young Brazilian player dreams of. He signed with FC Barcelona, the same club where Lionel Messi played. Overnight, Neymar found himself playing alongside two of the greatest forwards in the world. Messi from Argentina and Luis Suárez from Uruguay. Together, the three of them formed an attacking trio that fans nicknamed MSN, Messi, Suárez, Neymar. It was, for a while, footballing magic. The trio destroyed defenses across Spain and Europe. In the Arlingiwa season, the three of them scored over 100 goals combined. Barcelona won the league, the Spanish Cup, and the Champions League, the greatest trophy in European football. Neymar had reached the very top of the game. At just 23 years old. But life, as it often does, was preparing new tests for him. In 2014, before joining this golden trio fully, Neymar suffered one of the most painful moments of his career. Playing for Brazil at their home World Cup. In a match against Colombia, he received a hard knee to his back. He fractured a bone in his spine. He was carried off the field on a stretcher, his face full of pain. His tournament finished. Brazil, without him, suffered one of the most shocking defeats in World Cup history, losing 7-1 to Germany in the semi-final. Many Brazilians wondered, quietly, painfully, what if Neymar had still been there? It was a heavy weight to carry. The hopes of an entire football-loving nation, resting on young shoulders. Then, in Arlingiwa, Neymar made a decision that shocked the football world. He left Barcelona, left Messi and Suárez, left the team that had just won everything, to join Paris Saint-Germain, a club in France. The transfer fee was the largest in the history of football. Almost million euros. No player had ever cost so much. People had strong opinions. Some admired his courage to build something new. Others criticized him heavily. They said he left Barcelona only for money. They said he wanted to be the only star, without Messi's shadow beside him. The criticism followed him like a second shadow, wherever he played. And then came the injuries. Again and again. Neymar's body, so flexible, so capable of magical movement, also became fragile. Ankle injuries, foot fractures, metatarsal surgeries. Year after year, just as he found his best form, his body would break down again. Fans grew frustrated. Journalists wrote endless articles asking the same painful question. Why does Neymar keep getting injured? Some critics said he played too much for show, taking unnecessary risks with his tricks, inviting hard tackles from frustrated defenders. Others said it was simply bad luck. The price of being a player whose body twisted and turned in ways few humans could. There were other criticisms too. His lifestyle, his parties, his love for nightlife and social media, all became targets for journalists and fans who felt he was not focused enough on football. Whether fair or unfair, the criticism never fully stopped. Yet, through all of this, on the days his body allowed him to play, Neymar still showed flashes of the same magic the world fell in love with. He still danced past defenders. He still scored breathtaking goals. He still made stadiums gasp. With PSG, he won league titles in France, again and again. But the Champions League, the trophy he desperately wanted, stayed just out of reach. In 2020, PSG reached the Champions League final, their closest attempt, but they lost to Bayern Munich. Once more, the ultimate prize slipped through his fingers. Through every challenge, one dream stayed alive in Neymar's heart. The dream of winning the World Cup for Brazil. The country had not won the tournament since 2002, and Brazilian fans placed enormous hope on Neymar's shoulders to bring the trophy home again. In Al-Hilal, in Russia, Brazil reached the quarterfinals before being eliminated by Belgium. In 2022, in Qatar, hope rose again. Neymar played brilliantly in moments, scoring crucial goals, even breaking Pelé's all-time goal record for the Brazilian national team. But once again, heartbreak arrived. Brazil lost to Croatia in the quarterfinals on penalties. Neymar cried on the pitch, the World Cup dream slipping away once more. Each failure with the national team added new weight to old criticism. People asked whether Neymar would ever be remembered as a true Brazilian legend, or simply as a magnificently talented player who never finished the job. But perhaps, my friends, this is the wrong way to measure a story. Because, through injuries, criticism, heavy transfer fees, and World Cup heartbreaks, Neymar never stopped being Neymar. He never stopped smiling on the pitch. He never stopped trying tricks that other players were too afraid to attempt. He never stopped believing that football, at its heart, should bring joy. In 2023, Neymar made another bold move, joining Al-Hilal in Saudi Arabia, continuing his football journey in a new chapter, in a new part of the world, still chasing goals, still chasing joy, still proving that his story was far from finished. And so, my friends, we come to the end of our journey through the story of Neymar Jr. We traveled from a tiny room beside a gas station in Brazil, through the magical trio at Barcelona, through painful injuries and harsh criticism, to World Cup tears and quiet resilience. And what do we take from this story? Perhaps it is this: not every hero's journey ends with a trophy held high in the sky. Sometimes the lesson is in how a person keeps returning to what they love again and again, no matter how many times the body breaks, or the critics speak, or the dream slips away. And to you, the English learner listening right now, maybe your journey also has setbacks. Maybe you study and then you forget. Maybe you feel close to your goal, and then life pulls you back. That is normal. That is the journey. The important thing is that you keep returning, that you keep trying, that you do not let criticism or failure define your worth. Because, just like Neymar, your story is not only about the trophies you win. It is about how many times you choose to stand up, smile, and play again. So, keep going. We believe in you, and we are honored to walk this road with you. If this story moved you, please leave a comment below. Tell us which part of Neymar's journey touched you the most. Subscribe to Storyline Icons so you never miss a new story. And share this with someone who needs a little inspiration today. We will see you in the next story. Until then, take care of yourself. Keep learning, and remember, the greatest journeys always begin with one brave step